guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Warrior Stephen Curry-Steve Kerr embraced warmly after win over Grizzlies after securing their 8th trip to the playoffs. Head coach Steve Kerr embraced four-time NBA champion Stephen Curry warmly as the buzzer sounded off. It was another feel-good moment between the iconic coach and player duo following another signature Curry performance. The two-time MVP finished with 37 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists as the Golden State Warriors survived a furious Memphis Grizzlies team, 121-116. After the game, Kerr talked about the playoff atmosphere of the play-in tournament. The play-in is a playoff game even though it disappears under the ether as there's no record of it. I tried to downplay it a bit before the game, but we desperately needed to win this game and get 4 days of rest, Kerr said. Our guys have been basically playing knockout games for about 3 weeks, one high-level game after another. It took 83 games, but we're right where we want to be, which is back in the playoffs. Curry was sensational in the clutch once again with 15 points in the fourth quarter. Curry was instrumental in closing out a Grizzlies team that would not go away. The reigning clutch player of the year hit back-to-back three-pointers to push the Dubs' lead to 6 with a minute remaining. From there, the Warriors held on to the lead despite Memphis inching as close as a single point, with Curry going 44 from the free throw line. The win secured Golden State the 7th seed in the Western Conference, sending them to Houston to face the 2nd-seeded Rockets. And while the Warriors are the lower seed in this matchup, the playoff resumes of Curry and Kerr are bound to give Golden State an edge versus a young and unproven team. The legend of playoff Jimmy was alive and well in San Francisco in the Warriors' victory over the Grizzlies alongside Curry. Jimmy Butler finished with 38 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. He shot 12 of 20 from the field and 1-2 for 1-8 from the free throw line, giving the Dubs crucial bucket after the game. Butler talked about his huge 38-point performance combining with Curry for 75 points. It's always play basketball the right way, shoot the ball when you're open, attack into the paint, get to the free throw line, and pass it to the open guy. Butler said, I feel like I have the opportunity in Golden State to pick my spots incredibly well, and they are always looking to get me the ball in my spots where I can be aggressive and put the ball in the basket or make the right play for the next individual. We ran a couple of sets for me to do that and Steph did all the other stuff. Butler's play as of late has surpassed the initial vision of pairing Curry with another primary scorer. The idea behind the Butler-Wiggins trade was to give the Warriors another scoring option to ease Curry's offensive burden, but with how dominant Butler's been for the Warriors through drawing fouls and finishing tough buckets, he's gone above and beyond what Golden State expected. The Dubs will get 4 much-needed days of rest before facing off with Jalen Green and Alprinson in another Warriors-Rockets playoff matchup. Houston is a familiar playoff opponent for Curry, and so the pair is 4-0 in playoff series matchups, most famously dispelling the James Harden-Chris Paul team that took them to 7 games back in 2018. But Golden State faces a revamped Rockets team fully rebuilt after the departure of Harden, led by head coach Ime Udoka. Houston is an uber-athletic young team with size and length all over the floor. Steve Kerr gets brutally honest on Warriors' desperation versus Grizzlies. Since the Golden State Warriors won their most recent NBA championship in 2022, their back has been against the wall in the relentless Western Conference. They won 12 of their first 15 games in the 2024-25 campaign, but proceeded to tumble down the standings. The arrival of Jimmy Butler breathed new life into the Dubs before a slide in the final week of the regular season thrust them into the play-in tournament. For a second consecutive year, Golden State was once again forced to claw its way out of danger, and it did so by surviving the vicing Memphis Grizzlies. Butler posted his best game yet as a member of the Warriors, totaling 38 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals while shooting 12 of 18 in the 121-116 when Stephen Curry put on his chef hat in the fourth quarter, knocking down multiple clutch three-pointers to ward off the Grizzlies and finishing with 37 points and 8 rebounds. That's right, the sensational duo combined for more than half of the Warriors' offensive output, and even then it still took a devastating Grizzlies inbound blunder to put the game firmly in Golden State's grasp. Some fans view this squad as weak entering its first-round playoff series versus the number 2 seeded Houston Rockets. Steve Kerr is just relieved to get a fresh start and grateful for the opportunity to breathe a bit. We desperately needed to win this game and get for days, the Warriors head coach told reporters after the victory. Per NBC Sports, Bay Area's Dalton Johnson took 83 games, but we're right back where we want to be in the playoffs once an experienced team loaded with talent and championship rings finds its footing. The rest of the conference is put on notice. The only question though is, do the Dubs have their feet firmly planted on the ground? Jonathan Kuminga spent another game on the bench and enters the playoffs with an undefined role. Brandon Podziemski is still a streaky shooter despite the recent strides he has made, and although Quinten Post and Gary Payton too combined for 23 points versus Memphis, Kerr requires more offensive production from his bench. But Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green could position the Warriors for another deep postseason run. They must take full advantage of the next 4 days and get themselves ready for the Rockets, avoiding a do-or-die playing game against either the Sacramento Kings or Dallas Mavericks, which would have occurred on Friday, is undoubtedly huge for a team that relies so much on its veteran core. Tuesday's hard-earned desperate win over Memphis could ironically be the way the Warriors finally escape desperation mode. Grizzlies coach's strong Jimmy Butler statement before Warriors game: the Golden State Warriors made one of the biggest deals possible ahead of the 2025 NBA trade deadline, acquiring 6-time All-Star Jimmy Butler, and now they can put their new-look team to the test in the postseason. The Warriors are hosting the Memphis Grizzlies on Tuesday night for a play-in tournament matchup, and the winner will move on to face the Houston Rockets in the first round of the playoffs. The Warriors have been a completely different team since trading for Butler, as their new duo of him and Steph Curry is an impressive 22-5 when they share the court. In 30 appearances with the Warriors, Butler is averaging 17.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 1.7 steals per game, giving the team a much more dynamic look ahead of Tuesday's matchup. Grizzlies interim head coach Iisalo gave props to Butler. He's obviously brought a lot. He's changed their season. Iisalo said they are very good now defensively, extremely good defensively, disruptive. He gives them another offensive playmaker. He's driven their free throw attempt rate through the roof. Overall, a very smart player. I think over the years you've seen other smart wings position 3 for players like Andre Iguodala in that same role. He fits really well next to the other guys who have championship pedigree. Just overall a very smart player. Butler has been incredible for Golden State, and the Grizzlies will have their hands full against him and the Warriors on Tuesday night. The Warriors and Grizzlies are facing off at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Golden State on Tuesday. And what do you think about Iisalo's situation? Write to us in the comments.